from Expose the North Studios. This is Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
Oh, what's good?
Chilling like a villain with no feeling, looking at the ceiling, wondering what the deal is. You know? I'm working on my intros. Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yes, man. So, well, it's been quite the week, quite the busy week, quite the active week, let's say. I mean, last week we had the party at Detour, encore presentation of Choom Gang, who got to do their full set.
Yep, we got to do every goddamn song.
Every goddamn song on Danconia.
Yep, plus a couple extras.
Plus some extras, yeah, like Break.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an extra.
Yep.
It was a nice transition, honestly. But yo, from I went on the stage till Choom came on the stage was just full of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it was crazy. We had we had a lot of people going up and stuff, and we had a lot of kind of long breaks in between a lot of the sets. And by the time it was the last two, we were just like, "Nah, we going up. Let's go."
Yep. It was so live. We had people outside the venue. We had people inside the venue. We had the upstairs. We had the upstairs occupied. Like, people were at the bar. You know what I mean? I couldn't ask for more. You know what I mean? Choom Gang came through, represented. You know what I mean? We had Michael Bars in the building. You know what I mean? That was a rare occasion. We had Pluto Han in the building. You know what I mean? He's doing some big things in Niagara.
Private name, private number.
Private name, private number, you know what I mean? Mr. Exclusive, we'll call him. Mr. Exclusive in the building.
Mr. SWAT Mask.
Mr. SWAT Mask. Oh, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah, we had a lot of personalities in the building, we'll say. Jacoby was there. Chronic Spirit was there. It was, man.
Shout out to like Ezra said on Facebook this week. Shout out to everybody who dropped acid at our show. That was awesome.
Yeah, man. Shout out to who was it? Like, I didn't realize we had that kind of show going on there, my dude.
I figured it out about 10 minutes before sound check.
Yep. Okay. Sound check was a thing in itself.
Yeah, that was soundcheck took longer to get started than it maybe could have.
I swear, soundcheck took longer we took longer to do soundcheck than we did to perform.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got there at 7, and doors didn't open until like 9:30, 10.
No, it was 9:30. They opened at 9:30.
Yeah, and we were trying to do soundcheck the whole time.
Yeah, you know what threw me off was that nobody wanted to go second. It's like, okay. Like,
that didn't make sense to me. But I was just like, our thing was we couldn't sound check until our boy got there.
Yeah, the same.
And our boy took a while.
The same man who told everybody sound check started at 7, other than me.
3. No, told us it started at 3. He told
3.
He started at 3.
Wow. Nah, man. I said I wasn't going to be able to get there until like 5, 6 o'clock, so soundcheck couldn't start till 7, because I had to get food in my system. But it was, man. It was. But you know what? We know for next time. Write it out, exactly. And if you can't write it out, put it on the door. If you don't like it, then you can jump off the card. Straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight up. If you don't like your position, then you know what? That's unfortunate. Either talk to the person who has the position you like and switch it. No, not even. Fuck that. You're performing when I say you're performing. If you're not a headliner, I don't care. I didn't even headline, and I put the show together. Like, what the hell? Like, you think people put me on? Like, no, some people put me on, yo. I'm not gonna lie. Like, someone put me on to the Choom Gang, and I said, yo, they have to headline still. So, but it is what it is.
Fuck yeah, boy.
All right, so here's something that I never thought was ever going to happen because of his particularities in these types of matches. Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank. What's next? So, Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank. What happens next? Well, for one, Seth Rollins is on notice. The Beast and Paul Heyman made that perfectly clear when they came to Raw for a renewed round of chest beating, amplified by the looming variable that there is no longer any way to tell him when Lesnar will make his move. Thanks to the wildcard rule, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston isn't safe either. But despite both champions hitting the ring to all but dare Lesnar to cash in his contract, the Beast Slayer and the Dreadlock Dynamo were reassured that Lesnar had no desire to make a move against them. Yet. And when Rollins and Kingston both evidently scheduled for competition later that evening, Team Brock decided to leave the two world champions with the message that they were playing by the Beast rules. And the name of the game is now Anticipation and Paranoia. Message received. What happens next? Only one man knows. You know, they keep bringing up what happens next like they're going to bring back Goldberg or something.
Well, they are.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Like 2 weeks.
They kind of have.
In 2 weeks he's coming back. But I mean, so my only problem with this, at least in the writing here, is they say that thanks to the wild card rule, Kofi Kingston isn't safe either. However, even last year when there was no garbage wild card rule, the Money in the Bank holder was allowed to challenge any champion they wanted, Raw or SmackDown, for the main title. So it has nothing to do with the wild card rule. They're just trying to bring it up more.
Ah, I see. Trying to hype up things that don't need hype up. Hey, warm to you!
Exactly. And I'm just going to say, I was extremely upset when Lesnar showed up at the end of that Money in the Bank match.
Yo, bro, let me tell you, I heard, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Why? And then,
you know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, hold on a second. What is Lesnar doing here? Like, there was no conversation of an eighth man at all.
No, well, there was. It was at least not for the rest of the night after Sammy was taken out. But like, it was just dumb. Like, why did he have to come back? Why did he have to win that match? Apparently, they had told Mustafa Ali he was winning. So like, I don't get it. It's dumb.
That had to be a last minute change.
It has to.
Mustafa must have hurt himself.
Yeah, boo.
Did you see that power bomb? That sunset flip power bomb?
Ooh.
Boy!
So nice. Yeah, the pay-per-view overall was incredible.
I only got to see so much of it. But yeah, what I saw, it was nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. Me and my buddy watched the whole thing, and it was damn good. But the ending was a sour note.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was. Sami Zayn leads Strowman on frantic chase through the arena. Seems like we can all safely say that Braun Strowman didn't ambush Sami Zayn and string him up by his ankles in order to remove the former NXT champion from the men's Money in the Bank match. And yet, Zayn did steal that Monster Among Men's place in said match, and he indirectly got Strowman kicked out of the arena last night, so a debt was owed. And rest assured, it was paid. Despite Zayn's attempt to evade Strowman's wrath by fleeing into the backstage area, he also tried to get Braun's Super Showdown opponent Bobby Lashley involved. But all Lashley did was stare down the big man. Strowman literally carried his opponent to the ring and made short work of him once the bell finally rang, putting Zayn away via running power slam. With Super Showdown in the distance, Strowman now has his eye on the Almighty. As far as Sami Zayn goes, consider them even.
Well, I'm glad that feud's over, because it wasn't really doing much for anybody.
But what I find funny is last year this time, weren't they in a feud, but their roles were reversed in the sense of Strowman was the heel and Zayn was the face?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I think, wasn't he on that team of people with Kane who put Braun in the garbage can, the garbage truck last year?
Who, Zayn?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a face at the time.
No, that was a heel move, because Braun was the face.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm positive. I remember their first altercation. I don't remember exactly when, but I remember Zayn being a face and Strowman being the heel.
Probably in their first altercation, but that would have been before last year. They would have touched before then.
Okay, that could be what it is.
I think so.
All right.
But hey, before we get into this next part about Lucha and Lars Sullivan, there was the Edge and Christian podcast last week had Titus O'Neil on there.
Yeah.
And I definitely suggest people go listen to it. It's a great interview. Titus is an amazing person with a crazy story. But he was on there, and he brought up the Lars Sullivan stuff, like the racist and other awful things he said. And he said that Lars actually came up to him backstage and that they talked for 45 minutes and had a real heart-to-heart about why he said those things and what made him what changed with him and stuff like that. And that he's putting his name out there for Lars, which is kind of crazy and just shows what a goddamn good guy Titus is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he was coming out against people calling for Lars to be fired and stuff like that. He was saying that's garbage and all this stuff. I was like, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see where that goes in the coming weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Cesaro challenges Ricochet and epic action ensues. Nope, sorry. I skipped one. We'll get back to that one in a minute. You know what I mean? I get ahead of myself. Lucha House Party strike back against Lars Sullivan. You see, because we talked about it, I thought we had already talked about it.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
That's what happened. Last night at WWE Money in the Bank, Sunday night at WWE Money in the Bank, Lars Sullivan delivered an unannounced beating to the Lucha House Party. On Raw, the Masked Trio tried to deliver the favor during a planned in-ring interview with the imposing newcomer, and shockingly, their actions weren't entirely futile. The combined aerials of Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado were enough to send Sullivan tumbling from the ring, though all it ultimately did was the freak. All it did ultimately. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, this is horribly written.
Okay, so it's not me.
No, they said on Raw the Masked Trio tried to deliver the favor. The term is return the favor. Stupid fucking WWE writer.
Yeah, exactly. There were enough to send Sullivan tumbling from the ring through, though all it ultimately did was the freak to the point of no return. All we did was the freak to... That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, they missed the word. What they meant to say was, though, all it ultimately did was push the freak to the point of no return.
Yeah, I thought so. Man, yeah. WWE, we're challenging your editing team right now. Bring out the belts. Bring out the belts.
This is the one who decided for Brock to win the Money in the Bank.
It's probably whoever wrote this probably wrote that. Sullivan made quick work of Kalisto and Metalik as retribution for the ambush, and would have done the same to Lince Dorado, but his teammates pulled him from the ring just as Sullivan was hoisting him up for a powerbomb. That the Luchas briefly one-upped the Sullivan and left the arena under their own power is certainly more than they can say for WWE Money in the Bank. And even if it's only a moral victory, no one's even managed that with Sullivan so far. So it's an achievement all the same.
They really buried the Lucha House Party at the beginning of this paragraph. They said, let me see here. On Raw, the Masked Trio tried to, return the favor during a planned in-ring interview with the imposing newcomer, and shockingly, their actions weren't entirely futile. What a burial to say, how surprising is it that these three dudes were able to even get a modicum of offense against this fucking one guy? That's poor. I don't even like Lucha House Party that much, but poor Lucha House Party.
Yeah, man, they're just, I don't know, man. They're getting roughed up.
Them.
Okay, and now Cesaro challenges Ricochet and epic action ensues.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while since Cesaro was a regular singles competitor at Raw. So now it's tempting to regard his recent run, as something of a reminder of what made him a special superstar in the first place. The man simply does not have bad matches. He had the added benefit of a victorious performance this week, though his opponent Ricochet was nowhere near 100% after taking a painful trip through a ladder at WWE Money in the Bank on Sunday night. Yeah, man, I can edit on the fly. That was perhaps what Cesaro had in mind when he more or less goaded the former NXT North American champion into a bout during a confrontation in the trainer's room. Ricochet battled through his taped-up back on pure adrenaline, but his desire to beat Cesaro with his speed instead found him flying headlong into a vicious European uppercut. The Swiss Superman followed up with a Gorilla Press backbreaker and neutralizer for the victory. Attach an asterisk if you must. It won't change the outcome.
Great match. These two are both studs. Like, absolute studs. Cesaro is incredible. It's really... I don't like seeing the bar split up, but I do like the fact that, you know, he's getting a nice, some recognition as a single competitor.
Yeah. He's a dynamite. He's dynamite still.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Superman, baby.
All right. Speaking of Superman, Mr. Superman Punch and Shane agreed to blockbuster match, and Shane might have help. Where one door closes, another one opens. And now that Roman Reigns is done with Elias and another... Oh, Elias and Shane McMahon. What the fuck? Listen, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let me restart that because I'm clearly reading faster than I'm looking. Where one door closes, another opens. And now that Roman Reigns is done with Elias and Shane McMahon is through with The Miz, the two can finally turn their attention towards each other. Excuse me. After all, Elias was Shane's hired hand to pay Roman back for Superman punching Mr. McMahon a few weeks back. And there's clearly some unfinished business there. Reigns was all for throwing down on the spot against Shane O'Mac after the McMahon scion interrupted the Big Dog's in-ring appearance. And despite some initial hesitance on the part of Shane, he eventually accepted with one caveat. The match happened in 2 weeks at WWE Super Showdown. Of course, with Drew McIntyre flanking Shane for the second half of the confrontation, Shane has seemingly used his money to secure himself some muscle. A wise use of resources, to be sure, but the best in the world might have tipped his hand a bit too emphatically. Now Reigns knows what he's up against.
Yeah, we'll see. This is one of those matches where I'm like, okay, I can see it, it's fine, but it's not. This doesn't do anything for me for Super Showdown. Like, Super Showdown's got a couple matches where I'm like, yeah, I have to see this and I have to see this.
Goldberg versus Taker is one of those.
Yeah, Goldberg versus Taker I have to see because I'm a 90s kid, and, you know, how often did we want that? But a lot of the other matches I'm just, like, kind of meh on. I'm like, yeah, that's an okay match, I guess. But apparently the reason is that, you know, a lot of people have refused to go to Saudi Arabia this year. Like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn have both refused, and there's a few others.
Aleister Black can't go to... Aleister Black's not allowed to go because of what his tattoos say.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, man. It's a sticky situation when it comes to Middle Eastern politics.
Yeah, like people try to get off on the WWE about, like, oh, you guys are, you know, you're taking money from these people and blah 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 blah. Like, let's just everyone take into consideration that the WWE is a, you know, international corporation. They're not politicians. Like, they're not a political force in the WWE. They don't go around trying to fix problem nations or anything like that.
They could be a political force, however. They are very influential industrially.
They could be, but there's that. Making that choice to do that comes with not only a large responsibility, but, like, comes with a heavy choice on what you're willing to risk, because there's people on both sides of every argument, right? And the people who are on the opposite side of either will take whatever you do if you make those choices as a stand, you know, either way. And it's not up to them to do that, I don't think. Like, I don't think that's something that they are, you know, morally responsible to making decisions on, is, you know, Middle Eastern politics, which have been notoriously volatile for the last few centuries.
No, I don't think that either. But you have to admit, with them bringing the women over there, they are infusing some of the politics. Like for Bailey and not Bailey and Sasha. Was it Bailey and Sasha? Sasha and Alexa. For Sasha and Alexa to be the first female competitors to compete in a ring in Saudi Arabia, that itself is a use of its force for politics.
Right, but wait, was that I don't remember that being Saudi Arabia, because the whole big thing was the women weren't allowed to be at last year's Saudi Arabia shows.
There was one where they were there. There was an event where...
No, because they got in trouble. They got in trouble by the Saudis for showing a video that had women wrestlers in it.
I remember Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks fighting in full ring gear, like head to toe, fully covered.
For sure, I don't know if that was Saudi Arabia or a different Middle Eastern country, because it's different. I'll look it up. You keep going.
Okay, there's Super Showdown, and there was another one out there.
Right, but it wasn't at either of those pay-per-views. They weren't allowed to be on those pay-per-views. I remember that very specifically.
Well, this is like one of our first arguments, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us. I'm telling you, like, I remember specifically that I don't remember exactly, but I remember specifically Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks fighting, and they had full wardrobes on, like they were fully covered.
Totally, it was not at the pay-per-view though.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to tell me what it was.
And it was not in Saudi Arabia. I'm looking at it right now. WWE made history with the first ever women's wrestling match in Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Not Saudi Arabia.
Okay, bro, like how far is Abu Dhabi from Saudi Arabia? Like, can I be ignorant for a minute?
Very far, especially politically. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Abu Dhabi women have been able to drive and read for the last 20 years.
Okay.
In Saudi Arabia, last year when they did those pay-per-views, one of the videos that they promoted or that they showed off was Saudi Arabia bragging that women were just now becoming able to drive there. This is what I'm saying. They're very different things.
Yeah, okay. The information that I received on that might differ greatly, a little bit from what I originally thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not allowed in Saudi Arabia, and they're not allowed in Saudi Arabia again this time. There's no women's matches in Saudi Arabia allowed at all.
Wow.
You can't show your ankles. Like, you can't show, like, it's rough. You can't, they can't wear ring gear there because it's too revealing. It's not allowed. They will be, like, arrested.
Wow. Bro.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't trying to argue.
No.
Like,
you gotta clear up the
like, this is real.
You gotta clear up the misconception. If I'm not speaking truth, then, correct that straight. Like, from what I remember seeing them in a Middle Eastern country in full ring gear. I wasn't exactly sure which country it was, though. So I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah, that's in the United Arab Emirates. That's where, like Abu Dhabi is having a UFC event later this year. They're much more, modern in their politics and thinking there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The Revival and the Usos come to blows and tear the house down. It's been all jokes for the Usos lately, especially where the Revival is concerned. But Jimmy and Jay weren't laughing much after their bout with the former Raw Tag Team Champions. A bout the top guys requested, and one the Usos clearly thought was going to go over very differently. While Jimmy and Jay shimmied their way to the ring, Dash and Dawson came out swinging, throwing hands before the Usos could even get their hoodies off and forcing the twins to re-strategize almost immediately. The Revival's aggression eventually brought the Usos down to earth, and the match soon turned from Tag Team 101 to wild high-flying and hybrid maneuvers. Dash Wilder's got a mean tornado DDT, it turns out, and a flat-out slugfest. The Revival did what they do best, sticking to the basics, with Dash Wilder hitting the ring to cause chaos, and legal man Scott Dawson earning the tights assisted roll-up that was as decisive as it was ill-gotten. Perhaps their post-match celebration was a little excessive. Let's be honest, they cheated. But the elation was nonetheless justified, for the Usos accomplished developments over the last few weeks, they forgot who they were provoking until it was too late. And what could have been a riot turned into a reality check. I'd like to present to you the information related to this Raw news coming from a WWE app. Download the WWE app, and you can see information such as this and the latest from the WWE. Get the WWE app.
Just make sure you turn off your notifications on it if you watch pay-per-views or Raws later.
Yeah.
Because the push notifications will spoil events for you. That happened to me before I realized it.
they do spoil it.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
You'll get a straight up notification that says, "Oh my God, Kofi Kingston is the new WWE champion." Like it'll just say that right out in the app, and it's like, I was gonna watch that later.
There's some people who probably didn't even know that still, and you've ruined it for them. Ha!
Good. Anybody listening to this knows it. We have been losing our shit over it for weeks.
You see it. All right. The Iconics provoke Becky Lynch and pay the price. The dream ended for Becky Lynch at WWE Money in the Bank when she went from 2 belts to 1. Though that isn't to say the reigning Raw Women's Champion has let defeat slow her down in the slightest. Not only did she turn on the sprawling confab on a moment of bliss to a 6-woman tag team match, pitting herself and the unlikely combo of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross against the Iconics and Lacey Evans, the man scored the deciding pinfall. If there was any disappointment for Becky, it's that Evans, whose interference last night cost her a SmackDown Women's title, wasn't the one she pinned. The lady of WWE refused to square up with the man and instead focused all her energy on Nikki Cross, who was a little extra motivated after Alexa passively-aggressively berated her for losing the Women's Money in the Bank match. As for Alexa, she followed Becky's pre-match instructions and didn't get involved, sipping her coffee at ringside for the whole bout. Evans eventually bailed out on the match when things started to get sticky, and with Cross spent from fighting a 3-on-1 strategy, the man handily shouldered the load, finishing the fight single-handedly with a second rope leg drop to Billie Kay. It was as much a statement from Lynch to Evans, 1 title or 2, she's still the man, as it was to Alexa to the Iconics, who thought they were lording over Becky by mocking her loss. Instead, became the latest to make the grave mistake of underestimating her.
Fuck yeah, Becky Red Belt, baby.
Becky Redhead, red belt, clap, 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 redhead, red belt.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why she kept the red one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly right. also the fact that Steph is on Raw.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me much. So let's get this straight. The power couple right now is Becky and Seth, both with titles, Universal and the Women's. What?
Yeah. Boy.
Oh man. And I bet you, how many people is that escaping right now?
Oh, tons.
Too many people that don't even realize that. But yeah, man. Foley introduces the 24/7 championship. Chaos ensues.
The this belt. It is an ugly belt. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but god damn it, this belt is ugly.
I didn't really get to see it.
It's hideous.
Well, we'll get it changed.
I hope so. It looks like a colored vinyl record that was just bent onto a championship belt and painted gold. It's trash.
Wow. I don't know. This is coming from someone who made his own title belt. You never know.
Yeah, this one. Trust me, you'll understand. This is not a good. This belt is not a good look.
Oh man. Yeah, they'll probably change it sooner than later. We'll probably see how long it lasts.
I think it's going to last a while. Apparently this was USA Network's idea.
Okay. New title, new rules. New Raw? Seeking to bring the new rawness back to the third hour of Raw, the WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley introduces the 24/7 Championship. Gotta say it like that, or else it doesn't sell. A new title that can be won or lost at any time in any place as long as there's a referee present, with competition open for all brands, including 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK, as well as legends and WWE Hall of Famers. The idea, Foley said, was to reinforce the notion that a champion must eat, sleep, and breathe all the title if he wants to be worthy of it. And fittingly enough, the title's history got off to a most frantic possible start when Foley announced an instigated wild scrum that ended in not one but two title holders within the span of a few minutes. The winner turned out to be someone who wasn't even involved in the fray. Moments after Titus O'Neil grabbed the title to become the inaugural champion, Robert Roode ran out like a bat out of hell and rolled up the big deal near the entranceway to win the championship. The savvy Roode hit the bricks the second he captured the championship, with several other contenders giving chase behind the curtain. He didn't even have the time to grab the title when he made his escape, but Roode certainly got Foley's message. Everyone is coming for him, and he'll need to be the best to hold them off.
It's interesting. I don't know why they didn't just make it the hardcore title, 24/7 title.
Because they're a PG. Cool. Because they're PG, bro.
I know, but they could still just call it the hardcore title.
No, there's nothing PG about hardcore. It's contradictory.
No.
Yes. Come on. Okay, let's look at that little mouse over there with a bat that has spikes on it. It goes for PG. Yeah. Like, okay, let's pick Mickey Mouse with a razor blade. That's not PG anymore.
It's good. It's close enough. You can do it.
No, you can't. Yeah. Mickey Mouse cannot wield a razor blade to be PG, dog.
You know what they should have done? Mick Foley should have come out to announce this title, and while everyone was trying to go for the scrum to get it, fucking John Moxley should have showed up with barbed wire around his fist and punched everyone in his face.
That would have been ill.
Imagine the pop. Imagine the pop from the crowd if John Moxley had showed up in WWE to become the new first hardcore champion of the new era.
That would have...
Oh my god.
Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Fucked it up.
All right. McIntyre downs Miz, but the A-lister has help. The Miz isn't quite ready to put Shane McMahon in his rear view, but Drew McIntyre seems to be making that decision for him. The Scottish psychopath is already paying dividends for the best in the world, who forced the A-lister to face his towering enforcer when he made it known he wanted to square up with Shane once again. Unfortunately, the mountain proved to be too steep a climb even for this gritty version of the former WWE champion. Of course, McIntyre didn't exactly steamroll through Miz, whose matches with Shane have brought out the inner brawler that shows no sign of fading away anytime soon. The Awesome One even got McIntyre down on his back by chopping out his knees, setting up a figure four leg lock and forcing Shane to run interference. But there was no doubt who Miz was really out there for. The A-lister's attempt to chase down Shane gave McIntyre time to recover from a figure four and occupy the ref's attention. Shane took advantage, ambushing Miz from behind to set him up for the match-ending Claymore. Adding insult to injury, Shane offered one last parting gift before he finally moved on from Miz, ordering McIntyre to set the Awesome One up for a corner coast to coast. Before Shane could take flight, however, Roman Reigns darted to the ring and fought them both off. For the Miz, the moment was bittersweet at best. For all his fire, Miz finds himself at a loss. Redemption evades his grasp, and Shane threatens to fade farther into the distance.
So they have not listened at all about, Roman being on Raw and SmackDown every goddamn week, fucking kind of defeating the purpose of him being on SmackDown. And they've kind of doubled down on it because I don't even think he was on SmackDown this week. And then the other annoying thing here is Roman came out to defend Miz, right? The Miz was getting his ass kicked and being fucked with, and Roman came out to help him. Roman and Seth are brothers, aren't they?
Huh?
Why doesn't he help Seth at all with any of this bullshit going on? It seems weird, man. This wild card rule is fucking me up.
Yo, man, I've been in the studio for the last I've been in studio or out of house for the last 4 weeks when it comes to Raw and SmackDown. So I'm just barely catching on to it, but I don't know. They're turning him super face, I guess.
I guess.
All right. R-Truth ends Robert Roode's title reign before it begins. When the history books look back on Robert Roode's title reign as a 24/7 champion, they will note his outstanding cardio and shocking gullibility above all. After leading several Raw superstars on a merry chase through the arena, Roode seemed to finally find safe harbor when R-Truth hid him in the trunk of his car and directed the mob elsewhere. The assist turned to be a ruse, however, as Truth had the referee stored away in the passenger seat and was willing to count the pinfall when he slammed Roode headfirst on the side of the vehicle and covered him right in the parking lot. Given that Truth is the final wild card of the night, that means the 24/7 title is going to the SmackDown with him, where competitors would do well to put some respect on his name. For all the times he seemed unsure of where he even was, when it comes to the title, the new champion seems to know exactly what's up.
So, have you seen what he's been doing on Twitter? What
Not quite.
has been doing?
No.
R-Truth thinks he's the European champion.
Oh my gosh.
he keeps saying, because that's what a European champion does, 24/7.
Oh my gosh, no.
It's so brilliant.
Oh man.
And him and Drake Maverick are having a Twitter feud where Drake Maverick keeps posting and like asking people if they've seen R-Truth anywhere, and R-Truth keeps responding to him with like weird bullshit about like, I'm not there, Drake, I don't even know why you're looking for me. Like, I don't got it. I'm not the truth that was in that, but I am there. And he goes, you know what I mean? And Drake Maverick's just like, no, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you, and I'm going to pin you. Like,
that's great. That's
it's
great.
So good. They are killing it. Both of them are required follows on Twitter.
Speaking of Drake Maverick, where is AOP?
One of them had to have shoulder surgery.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lesnar and Heyman plan announcement for next week's Raw. It wasn't hard to see where things were going when Raw's main event, a tag team bout pitting Universal Champion Seth Rollins and WWE Champion Kofi Kingston against Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin, was reconfigured on the spot to a no disqualification match. For all the chaos that unfolded in the wild free-for-all, there were barely any tags, and Rollins wrestled most of the match in his t-shirt after being jumped from behind during the entrance. The question was so much if Rock would show up, the question wasn't so much if Rock would show up, but when. He waited smartly until after Kingston pinned Corbin with a Trouble in Paradise, and Lashley had dispatched both champions with post-match spears. The Beast music hit the second Rollins drove the Almighty out of the ring, but Lesnar's show of circling the ring and eyeing both title holders turned out to have a cliffhanger ending. The Conqueror backed away at the last minute, with Paul Heyman accurately assuring his client that they were in the driver's seat. The Advocate also suggested a course of action picked up by the camera mics. That Lesnar returned next week and announced which champion he was going to cash in on. Raw began with everyone wondering what happens next. We still don't know what Lesnar's course of action is, but at least we know when we'll find out. Yeah. Brock Lesnar is on. Brock Lesnar was on Raw, and he happened to stir up some beef or stir up some drama with the WWE Heavyweight Champion as well as the I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either. You were talking about the main event, and then it went quiet on my side, and then it said I got hung up on.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm waiting for a call from what's it called, Fido, but I don't think that just came through.
That's weird.
No, okay. Well, that's messed up.
Oh, word. Well, back into it.
All right, so, yeah, we're going into the SmackDown. We're going into the SmackDown Live stories now. And it's going to take a minute to access this information on my... Oh, there it is. Bam.
Oh.
There we go. SmackDown Live, May 21st, 2019. It goes... Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn crash Big E's welcome back party. Oh, man, come on.
This was pretty great. It is always a pleasure to see Big E do his thing. God damn it, that man is amazing.
After nursing an injury for several weeks and having to sit on the sidelines as Kevin Owens terrorized his New Day brethren, Big E returned to SmackDown Live on Tuesday night despite not being quite ready to compete in the ring. WWE Champion Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods welcomed Big E back by throwing him a massive celebration, but the good vibes were quickly ruined when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens crashed the party. The New Day quickly got under Owens' skin so deeply that he left without saying a word, and Zayn rallied against the New Day, suggesting that their actions distract the WWE Universe from realizing what a toxic culture they've created. Zayn then looked towards his match later in the night against the Dreadlock Dynamo, suggesting that he would make a major statement against the New Day and the WWE Universe when he defeated Kofi. Kofi fired right back, though, saying that none of the New Day's theatrics could fool him and that he'd walk right through Zayn tonight.
I mean, yeah. Once again, great to see Big E. Big E is awesome. His shtick at the beginning of him coming out, where first they brought out a guy under a sheet, and it was just some way too skinny guy in Big E's ring gear. That was hilarious. And then Big E coming out and like asking to smell the other members of New Day because he missed his boys so much.
Oh man. Oh man, that's jokes.
Oh yeah, it was genius. They are comic geniuses.
Okay. Okay. That was interesting. That's the second time the phone just hung up. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Ali defeats Andrade. There we go.
The world don't want us to talk about this.
Nah, man, I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm showing you, it's a madness. It's madness. We're getting too popular. Oh,
they want to hold us down.
Exactly. Ali defeats Andrade. Following both superstars' incredible performance in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match this past Sunday, Ali and Andrade squared back up in one-on-one competition on SmackDown Live. Despite being shoved off a ladder by Brock Lesnar on Sunday, Ali was totally game as he and Andrade looked to propel forward. Andrade targeted Ali's back with relentless barrage that included him repeatedly ramming him into the barricade, ring post, and floor. Ali refused to stay down, however, beating the referee's 10 count on multiple occasions and surviving Andrade's dreaded double knees into the corner. Ali then came on his way back, all the way back, catching Andrade with a surprise roll-up for an unbelievable, impressive, resilient victory. Let's go back a minute. Becky Lynch's leg drop victory was like the first non-submission victory she's had in how many years?
Oh, I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. She got like two roll-ups at least, like almost back-to-back. She got a roll-up on Ronda at Mania. That's how she won, was a roll-up pin.
Okay.
And I feel like she got a roll-up pin on Charlotte in one of their pay-per-view matches when she was heel.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely usually submission. That the disarmer is that move is super over, and they protect it well.
Yeah, indeed. Carmella versus Mandy Rose ends with a 24/7 championship chase of R-Truth, with the 24/7 champion, R-Truth, by her side. Carmella took on Mandy Rose, who was flanked by Sonya Deville on the blue brand. What were you saying there?
I was just saying this was hilarious.
Okay.
R-Truth in full drag, like disguise.
Oh, man.
Doing the moonwalk with Carmella and stuff, wearing a blonde wig like Carmella. Oh my god, it was genius.
Both
so fucking funny.
I don't know if I agree with it though. Like, why is it that every time you see a brother in a good position, he's got to be dressing like, you got to dress him up like a woman though? Like, I'm not.
All right, listen up, Cat Williams.
I'm not big on that though. I'm not big on that. Like, you don't see them.
I feel you, but it's not like men haven't done it too. Or white dudes haven't done it too. I mean, like, Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe had to do it like every week going forward for like during the Attitude Era.
But Pat Patterson,
Al Snow did it.
Pat Patterson's kind of a little bit on the. He's about that life though. He's
gay, but
that's what I'm saying. He's about that life, so
he's not a cross dresser. He's just gay. He's the first gay champion, openly gay champion in wrestling history.
Yeah. Do they count? Like, do they count it now? Like, now that he's admitted it, they count it from back then.
Well, he was open back then. Everyone knew. They just didn't say it on TV, but like the whole backstage knew. It was never a secret.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, like Vince knew. All the wrestlers knew. Stone Cold, Rock, everybody knew. Everybody knew.
Okay. Well, I guess I was out of the loop. I had my suspicions.
We didn't know.
I had my suspicions, but I guess I was just out of the loop. Both Princess Mella and God's Greatest Creation were aiming to get back on track after coming so close to walking out as Miss Money in the Bank on Sunday night. But Truth's presence at ringside resulted in a litany of SmackDown superstars along with a referee darting out to try and defeat Truth for the championship. Truth bolted with Carmella on his back as a brigade of superstars chased him, but it seemed like his night was just beginning. Oh, man.
It was so funny. He literally just grabbed Carmella. She jumped up on his back, piggyback style. He bolted over the barricade with her on his back still, and then just bolted out of the arena carrying her. It was hilarious.
Wow. I wonder if they're dating.
No, they're not.
No?
She's dating Corey Graves.
Oh, yeah, right. The whole marriage breakup thing.
Well, I mean, no. Let's not spread that.
No, we're not gonna. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Mella is money. Mella is money, though. Still. Oh man. Okay, Kofi Kingston.
And wait. Before we go on, if we are gonna say that about Carmella, we have to say that about Becky too, because Seth just announced his divorce like 2 weeks ago.
Oh god damn! Seth was married, wasn't he?
Yeah, so let's just.
Oh no!
It doesn't mean. See, that's the thing. It doesn't mean that they broke up the marriage. It means that the marriage wasn't good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Like there's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Because Lord only knows we don't want to call her Becky Homerecky.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a nice ring to it. It's got a nice ring to it, but it's probably not great.
I like the red belt better, so we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, exactly.
if she comes over to SmackDown when we go there, trust me, red belt.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, so following the heated interaction earlier in the night, Kofi Kingston and Sami Zayn squared off on SmackDown Live. What would have already been an incredibly contentious contest was made even tenser when Big E was attacked prior to the match, claiming it was Kevin Owens who had blindsided him from behind. With Xavier Woods tending to Big E, KO having walked off earlier the evening, Kingston and Zayn went at it on the blue brand all by themselves. After a back-and-forth contest, Kingston connected flush with the Trouble in Paradise for a big-time victory. However, the Dreadlock Dynamo's celebration was cut short. At first, Paul Heyman appeared, suggesting that Brock Lesnar could potentially be ready to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. No cash had occurred, but Kingston was presented with another challenge when he was suddenly assaulted by Dolph Ziggler. The returning Ziggler, who had not been seen since the Royal Rumble match in January, viciously assaulted Kofi with a steel chair, leaving him laying as trainers and doctors rushed to the aid of the WWE Champion. Ziggler exited, looking as intent and defiant as ever. Kingston was initially charted up the ramp in a stretcher, but he refused to let Ziggler keep him down and exited on his own power. Yikes.
Yeah, this is crazy. So, I don't want this to be what's happening, but I have a theory.
Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for WWE Math!
Exactly. So, if anybody remembers, when Big E first came up to the main roster...
Yeah? Oh, no! No!
No!
Big E is not turning on the New Day to go back with Dolph Ziggler!
And he was the henchman for Dolph Ziggler.
I remember that!
And tonight, he got attacked He claimed it was KO. They even, and not just said it was KO, they even say in this article claiming it was Kevin Owens. So,
no.
What if he's lying and he was faking it?
No.
I know.
No, man, they can't do.
I don't want it to be real, but that sounds pretty goddamn real.
Yeah, that sounds too real. No, that's too real for reality right now. No.
I'm sorry. Everybody.
Nah, bro. You have to be wrong about this. You were right about. They're bringing back the club for the for the Japan tour. You're right about that.
Yep.
You're wrong about this, though. You're wrong about this. No. Nah, I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
I know. I didn't.
It's the best. You know what? Speaking from a cultural perspective, the New Day is like the best thing that black people have going for them right now. Y'all can't fuck that up. We actually have people that are positive and powerful in a position of prominence. Don't fuck that up for us, Vince.
The New Day is the best thing we have going for us.
The best thing we got going for us as brothers right now. Showing unity in the community, working together, and shit. You can't mess that up for us, Vince.
I'm not black, but I do rap. And I think,
but I do rap.
And I think our truth is the best thing.
Our truth? Nah, man. Our truth is. I'm sorry, yo. I got mad love for our truth right now. Nothing but love for our truth. But like, the New Day has been an exemplary. The definition of how we should work together as a community. That's what the New Day is showing right now. So for Dolph Ziggler to come and mess this up, no! I'm getting legitimately vexed.
What if it happens at Super Showdown?
If it happens, I'm coming to you.
If it happens at Super Showdown, no. Oh my god.
Never!
Oh, please don't happen.
Okay, on to the next one. Oh, man.
Don't happen.
Becky Lynch and Bayley defeat Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. In a match ripe with tangled webs, Raw's Women's Champion Becky Lynch teamed up with SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley to take on Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans on the Blue Brand. Bayley, of course, defeated Flair for the SmackDown Women's title at Money in the Bank when she cashed in on Flair, who had defeated Lynch for the title moments prior, thanks in part to an assistance from Evans. Got all that? Cool. With tensions clearly still running high after Sunday night, it appeared that Becky Lynch was closing in on a victory when she locked in the disarmer on the Queen. However, the man lost the hold when the sassy Southern Belle took advantage of Lynch's positioning by knocking her down with the woman's right. With Lynch down, Bayley tagged herself in and got Lacey out of the ring. From there, the hugger reversed the figure four attempt into a roll-up win. However, with each having a title the other wanted, it wasn't all smiles when Bayley and Becky having the match, with the two clearly bickering at a bit for the win. This match was brought to us by the wild card rule, but this situation is just straight up wild. I like that.
That's a pretty good line. The writing on the SmackDown recap is way better.
Yeah. SmackDown, I'm finding, is better than Raw. I'm sorry.
It is.
I like the 2-hour format. Like, I mean, I'm sure people like our 2 hour or our 1 hour, 2 hour format. But by the time you get to the third hour, it's like, bro.
It's rough. It's
like,
rough. It can be hard to program, 3 hours of TV every single Monday. So like they really backed themselves into a corner when they switched over to 3 hours.
Yep, and they'll be biting themselves on the nose if they cut back to 2.
Yeah, well, exactly. So Raw's staying at 3 hours. From what I've heard, SmackDown is also staying at 2 hours. There was some talk that it would be going to 3 hours when it moved to Fox, but it is going to remain 2 hours.
That's a smart look. I don't think they need to add another hour to Raw or to SmackDown. It's fine the way it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Dolph Ziggler explained his shocking attack of the WWE champion Kofi Kingston. I don't the way he came out was so like shut up. Just shut up. It's supposed to be me. It's supposed. Listen to me, man. Look, man. The one thing I hate about the one thing I can't stand about WWE is the racially charged storylines.
Well, I mean, the last one was actually amazing.
I like it. Don't get me wrong, but when I speak on it, I sound like I might be more ignorant than I intend to come across. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want people to say, just because I'm for Kofi Kingston and, like, my culture, I don't want them to think I'm against Dolph Ziggler and his culture, but let a nigga hold the title for a minute. Let a brother hold the title. You know what I mean? The first brother to hold a title, the first official brother, the first brother with African roots to hold the title. Let the brother hold the title. I'm saying. I'm just saying.
He's going to. He's gonna. Kofi's definitely gonna win that Super Showdown.
Yeah, man. I hope so.
Absolutely, he will.
Dolph Ziggler explained his shocking attack of WWE champion Kofi Kingston. Dolph Ziggler shocked the WWE Universe earlier in the evening when he blindsided WWE Champion Kofi Kingston with a vicious assault. Now Ziggler returned to explain his actions, saying that everything Kofi has gone through in the past several months of his incredible journey to becoming WWE champion should have been him. A clearly bothered and emotional Ziggler then stated that it would indeed be him when he defeated Kofi for the title at Super Showdown on June 7th. That's a Friday, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's a Friday.
2 weeks from yesterday.
2 weeks from yesterday, WWE presents Super Showdown.
Boom.
All right.
You know what? We shouldn't say boom.
No, not where, especially where it's going. Ta-da! We'll say ta-da!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. The views and opinions of this podcast are solely those of those who are participating in the podcast and do not reflect the opinions of the WWE.
Though they might.
Oh, man, that's great. Roman Reigns defeats Elias. Looking to course correct after being defeated with ease by the big dog on Sunday night after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event. Elias, with Shane McMahon in his corner, squared off against Roman Reigns. With Shane hoping to see Roman worn down prior to their match at WWE Super Showdown, Elias looked for every shortcut to get an edge over the big dog, including constant interference by Shane O'Mac. However, Reigns would not be slowed down, going as far as to hit Shane with a drive-by. Elias had a glimmer of hope when he connected with a massive top rope elbow drop, but Reigns got his shoulder up. In the pivotal moments, Elias grabbed the guitar, but Reigns knocked the instrument out of his hand. This left the Living Truth wide open for a spear that secured Roman the victory. There would be no celebration, though, as Shane immediately pounced on Roman, striking him with a flurry of punches, and then grabbed the guitar, clearly with plans of attacking the big dog. But Reigns Superman punched him before he could ever use it. Roman grabbed the guitar, possibly looking to make a little music of his own against Shane, but then was stopped in his tracks by a surprise Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. The wild card rule struck again, and clearly Shane O'Mac was going to use to the fullest extent possible to silence the big dog's bark.
Yay, wild card rule. It's been so good so far.
If they weren't using the same three all the time,
over and over and over and over again.
That's a problem. Like when they find a working formula, instead of saying, okay, this formula works, let's put it on the shelf and try another formula. That formula works, let's put it on the shelf and try another formula. This formula doesn't work, let's change it up a little bit, see if it works. And then after they go through like 5-10 formulas, then go back to the first formula and say, okay, this one worked for this situation, the third formula, this one worked for this situation, and forward. But like they just, what's that? Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre? People will put in seats? Okay, let's do Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. WrestleMania! Like,
have we seen that match before? Has anybody seen that?
Did we see that WrestleMania?
Like, fuck off. Fucking, oh my god. They gotta change this wildcard rule soon, man. It has to change. It's boring.
They might change it to 5 people.
No. Stop that. Just stop doing it. Just stop doing it. They can't add more to it. It has to be reined in. No pun intended. It has to be Romaned in a little bit.
Oh man. Oh jeez. That was too much.
So crazy.
That was too much. Oh my gosh. So yeah, what are your takeaways from Raw and SmackDown?
It was an okay week. Top guys won. That's a positive.
That's always a good look for you, eh?
Always a positive. It's always a positive for me unless they lose, in which case it's always a negative. They had a really interesting match. The women's tag match on SmackDown was very good. Cesaro versus Ricochet on Raw, fucking incredible. There's some really, really good stuff this week. There's little things that, you know, like the wild card rule, like certain things just not making sense that are kind of annoying me. But we'll see where it goes. I think right now I just have, like, you know, whatever the opposite of rose, shit-colored glasses on when I'm looking at it. Because
what are the opposite of rose? Hold on, I gotta catch my breath. He said, what are the opposite of rose-colored? My shit-colored glasses on?
Yeah, they got shit-colored glasses, or I got shit-colored glasses on, because all I can think about is, Brock Lesnar is fucking Mr. Money in the Bank. Yay, another Brock Lesnar title match. And imagine if he wins that. Fuck me, I'll fucking be mad.
It seems like...
So...
I don't know, man. I like, where it comes to Brock, I used to be a big fan. I even had an alien for a period of time. I used to go by Block Lesnar.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So, you know, like, I made a couple of tracks under that moniker. But then it's just like, if he was defending his title and consistently mashing things up, okay. But you can't come once every 6 months and expect to be hype, yo.
No, man, and that's the thing, is like the worry of it is like, if Vince thinks that Brock Lesnar is just a draw and has that putting the belt on him will innately lift ratings in some way, he's out of his mind, because that shit is not gonna fly anymore. We just went over 2 fucking years of him as champion.
Yeah, and he didn't really defend it that much.
No, probably defended it 7 times during those 2 years. Like, I don't need that again, man. I don't need that again.
No.
So,
not at all.
Give me something new. Have Brock cash in soon and fail.
Brock cash in and fail?
Have him fail, and then send him back to his goddamn ranch in Calgary for another fucking year and a half. Let him take some time off, and then have him come back as a surprise for something. But never put a belt on that man again.
No, because that'll be like another year. No, he's already got the longest title run with the Universal title, doesn't he?
The longest of the modern era, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to beat Bruno Sammartino's record.
Ever.
They don't even pretend anymore. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a weird goddamn thing.
But in Sammartino's era, didn't they do it like once a month?
Pardon?
Weren't they only like a once a month kind of thing?
Yeah. I mean, he would barely even come in once a month.
Yeah, I saw. They were ragging him all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's weird. You know what would be amazing? If Brock cashes in his Money in the Bank contract on R-Truth for the 24/7 title. Make Brock film a bunch of segments at around fucking a couple towns, and then just pre-tape them and show them then.
You know what? That should be the title he vies for.
Exactly. Have R-Truth try to get his title back off Brock Lesnar by breaking into Brock Lesnar's hotel room while he's sleeping and just gently trying to cover him.
That would be great. I can picture it.
Yeah. He's just trying not to wake him up as he's going over for the cover position, and the ref's whispering the 3 count.
Oh man, that would be too funny.
It'd be so funny, and I think it would give a lot of goodwill to Brock, because people would be like, okay, Brock's willing to do some weird, funny shit. Why aren't we doing weird, funny shit with Brock all the time?
He's done the beatbox, the stereo thing with the headphones, with the briefcase.
Yeah, I love all the edits that people have been putting out of that to different songs. Like, it fit perfectly to Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys.
Yep.
That was thank you, wrestling meme creators. You guys are awesome.
That's a rock. All right,
good.
so AEW.
Tonight, starting in, let me see here, what's the countdown say? It starts in 1 hour and 50 minutes, so it's about 2 hours away from AEW's first ever pay-per-view.
Yep.
Technically, which is awesome. I'm looking at the match card here right now. The match card is awesome. The kickoff show, we got Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara, both amazing indie guys. The other match on the kickoff show is the 21-man Casino Battle Royale for the AEW World Championship match. And there's some good names in that. There's some names that you'll recognize that you'll be very surprised to hear. How does this sound? Glacier from WCW with the blue lights and the blue outfit and the
Sub-Zero
bullshit karate. Yeah, Sub-Zero ripoff guy. He is in the 21-man battle royale.
Okay.
Brian Pillman Jr. is in the 21-man battle
Brian
royale.
Pillman Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Good God! Wow.
Yeah, Joey Janela, a.k.a. the Dick Man, he is in there. Billy Gunn, a.k.a. the Ass Man, he is in there.
Billy Gunn! How was he in AEW?
Because he's signed for their he's like one of the creative guys in it, but he's also doing little matches and shit here and there. Jimmy Havoc, who WWE fans may know as what was his name? I can't remember what his name was when he was at WWE, but he was writing for WWE. He wrote all the stuff for the List of Jericho and the Kevin Owens Jericho feud and Friendship.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also probably going to be, actually definitely going to be in the Battle Royal is Sean Spears, a.k.a. one Ty Dillinger, is in the Battle Royal. And rumored to be in the Battle Royal is Hangman Page, since his match with Pac, a.k.a. Neville, got canceled because Neville apparently refused to do the job. But Hangman Page is probably going to come in at lucky number 21 in the Casino Battle Royal and win, and then he will go on to face the winner of the main event of tonight, which is Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. For the winner of that will go on to fight for the AEW World Championship against the winner of the 21-man Battle Royal. So that's going to be a great match. I think Chris Jericho will probably go over just because Kenny Omega won the last match.
Okay.
But it's going to be a great match. We also have Dr. Britt Baker, who is a legitimate dentist when she's not wrestling. Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose versus Kylie Ray in a triple threat match.
Okay.
That'll be awesome. We have Cody versus Dustin Rhodes. The Battle of Dusty's baby boys are coming up. A hilarious thing, yesterday at StarCast, Dustin Rhodes showed up to StarCast wearing a shirt that said Dusty's favorite, which is pretty goddamn funny for anybody who knows that they are both the sons of Dusty's. Then there's Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta versus Angelico and Jack Evans. That'll be a very good match. The best friends, a.k.a. Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, are an amazing tag team.
Okay.
And Chuck Taylor is also a guy who is a must-follow on Twitter if you're a wrestling fan. That motherfucker is hilarious. If you remember at War Games last year, or maybe the year before, when Roderick Strong turned heel and joined the Undisputed Era,
Okay.
When Adam Cole came out for that main event War Games match, he had the belly tape on, like the rib tape, like DDP used to wear all the time.
Yeah.
And Trent Beretta posted a picture of it on Twitter and tagged Adam Cole and Trent Beretta and said, "Hey, Trent Beretta, you see this fat bastard Adam Cole trying to hide his gut with that DDP belly tape?"
Oh, no.
It was hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was good. So then there's a women's six-woman tag match, which I'm not familiar with any of the people in the match, so I can't speak to that one. There's the AAA World Tag Team Championship match, which is the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros, which is Penta El Zero and Phoenix, which is amazing. That's going to be a fucking unreal match. And then there's also a six-man tag match between SoCal Uncensored, which is Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. All three are legends of the independent wrestling scene, versus Strong Hearts, which is Seema, Seahawk, and El Lindemann. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing show. That's going to be taking place in an hour and 45 minutes now.
Yeah. We can say boom for this one, right?
Oh, definitely boom.
Boom!
This one's in Vegas. All you can't say for this one is bang.
Yeah. Bang.
But yeah, that is, it's going to be amazing. So anybody who gets a chance, definitely watch out for that. Yeah, that's all the AEW stuff I have, because that's basically what everything is leading to right now. We're going to see their title belt for the first time tonight, and we'll probably get some sort of indication on when the weekly TV starts.
Okay. Yeah, because they just signed with Turner. TNT, right?
Yeah, TNT. Yep, they're going on. They're going to be on TNT.
Turner Network Television.
Oh, yeah. Actually, one other thing about AEW that I completely forgot. They signed a new wrestling legend to production and coaching position at AEW. The Iceman, Dean Malenko, is now working as a coach and producer for AEW.
Dean Malenko, wow! I had heard about him for a minute.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dean Malenko.
The Iceman, wow.
It's going to be awesome. The man of 1,000 holds.
Yeah, man. Wicked. All right, so we got AEW. We skipped over NXT.
Yeah, NXT, we have the NXT TakeOver 25 is coming up next weekend. Let me just pull this up here. It's coming up on June 1st. So a week from today is NXT TakeOver 25. This is going to be interesting. What's it called? The Viking Raiders they have given up and relinquished the NXT Tag Team titles. So to get a new set of Tag Team champions, we are having Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Street Profits versus Undisputed Era versus the Forgotten Sons. So we've got a ladder match between all four of those teams for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship. That is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
That match is anybody who likes wrestling cannot miss that match, because that match is going to be fucking unreal. The other matches on the card, there's only 5 matches on the card from what I see here. We're also getting Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai in a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah.
It's going to be another amazing match. Queen of Spades never lets us down. Velveteen Dream is defending his North American title against Tyler Breeze.
Really?
Very cool. Breezy showed up on NXT this week in his old NXT gimmick, doing the selfie stick all the way down to the ring and the big, the furry jackets and everything. Looking sharp, looking like he's killing it. So it's going to be him and Velveteen Dream is a very interesting combination of people. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. We also have a non-title singles match between Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong. That's going to be awesome. Both of those guys can really work in the ring, and Matt Riddle is an up-and-coming, incredible dude. I think Matt Riddle's probably going to win that, just because I don't think they want him to lose 2 takeovers in a row. But I could be wrong. Johnny Gargano lost every takeover for like a year and a half. And then main event for that. Speaking of Johnny Wrestling, aka Johnny Gargano, is going to be facing Cole for the championship again. Yeah, so we got Adam Cole going up against Johnny Gargano in their second and a championship match in consecutive takeovers. I would love it if Adam Cole won that. I don't know if they want to take that off of Johnny yet, but it would be amazing to see Adam Cole hold up that NXT strap.
Well, I figure it's either going to be Adam Cole with the heavyweight strap or Undisputed Era with the tag team titles. There's a chance of it being both.
That would be awesome, because that's what happened at that takeover where Adam Cole won the inaugural North American title.
Yep.
And then they won the tag team titles in the War Games match later that night. So it's not unprecedented for them to all hold gold, and I would love that so much. I like a strong faction running a division. Like, I like a strong faction that runs multiple divisions. I think that's always really, really fun. Like when DX was doing that back in the day, it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got on NXT, because we're just waiting on that surprise takeover that they announced. So this is going to be awesome. It's going to be a really good show, albeit maybe a little bit of a surprise that it's happening so quickly.
All right, so NJPW, for those of you who don't know, is New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, so New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let me just look something up here, because I want to see what day Dominion is on. Because that will determine, let's see here, June 9th. So, very
I'm performing that day.
Pardon?
I'm performing on that day at Niagara Falls, Taps Brew House, 4680 Queen Street. Come check me out. Sorry, shameless self-promotion. Go ahead.
No worries. It's awesome that New Japan's actually doing a show on a Sunday. Usually their shit ends up being in the middle of the goddamn week at a time where I can't possibly watch it. So that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing that we're really waiting on. That is at the Osaka Joe Hall in Osaka, Japan. It is being headlined with 3 title matches. There's Tetsuya Naito is facing Ibushi for the IC title. Ishii versus Taichi is going off for the never open weight title. And the main event is Chris Jericho versus Kazuchika Okada for the IGPW heavyweight title.
Pause.
So,
how is Jericho fighting on 2 different brands?
Because he's Jericho, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, sir.
Baby! He's the original, baby!
Yeah, absolutely. He's he's definitely going to do that. It's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if New Japan wants to put a belt on somebody who's like the main attraction for a competing organization in the States, but we will see.
Could you imagine if he has both belts?
That'd be fucked up. That would be absolutely insane. Or I don't think he would get both belts. I think what would happen would be he'd maybe win the IWGP title from Okada, and then when they set up the pay-per-view for him to be facing Hangman Page for the title, he would have it so that he could walk in with it and be threatening to become a double champ in 2 different promotions. But I don't know if they'll actually do that.
Sounds plausible.
It's plausible. It's definitely plausible.
Definitely. All right, so now we got the NJPW, we got the NXT, we got the WWE, we got to talk about UFC.
Yeah. So, UFC, there's no UFC this weekend.
None.
Time in a while. First time in a little while, I feel like that I haven't had, haven't been able to watch these goddamn fights.
Buy the game and go play it.
Pardon?
I said buy the game and go play it. Not you, just people.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, the next one coming up is a week from today. There is UFC Fight Night 153. Alexander Gustafsson is fighting Anthony Smith at light heavyweight in the main event. That's an interesting matchup because both of these guys' last fights were against John Jones for the light heavyweight title.
Bones!
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see who wins this and what that means for their placement on the rankings. It'll also be very interesting to see what it means to the loser in the rankings. But then that's also got a fight between Volkan Ozdemir and Alira Latifi. Both of those guys are goddamn savages. Jimmy Manoa is still listed as fighting, but his opponent had to pull out, so we don't know who he's fighting or if he's still fighting. Daniel Taymor, who's a guy who's been around forever, is very good. He's fighting on that card as well as Tanya Evinger and a couple other people who've been around for a minute. It's not, I will say it's not the most stacked fight night card they've had in recent memory. I think they may have had trouble getting that one off the ground properly.
Okay.
But then 1 week after that is a big one. That's UFC 238. And at that one, we have 2 title fights in the main and co-main event. The main event is Henry Cejudo, the current flyweight champion, going up against Marlon Moraes at bantamweight for the bantamweight title to try to become a double champ. Marlon wants to gain his first UFC title. The co-main is Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Evil Eye. Both of these girls are savages. Valentina is a complete monster. So we'll see how that goes for Jessica. Tony Ferguson is coming back for a fight in quite a long time. He's going to be fighting Cowboy Donald Cerrone.
Okay.
And then we got Jimmy Rivera versus Peter Yan, 2 great fighters. And Tai Tuivasa versus Blagoy Ivanov. So that's a pretty stacked main card. There's some pretty big fights on the prelims too, with Tatiana Suarez fighting Nina Ansaroff. Nina Ansaroff is the fiance of currently the only ever women's double champ in UFC history, Amanda Nunes, who knocked out both Cyborg and Ronda Rousey in under 50 seconds apiece, which is insane.
Yeah.
We got Aljo Sterling versus Pedro Munoz, which is going to probably decide the number 1 contender for whoever wins in the main event. Carolina Kowalkiewicz is facing a jobber, and Ricardo Lamas is facing Calvin Kattar. So that's a good one too, and that's 2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks from tonight, UFC. What did you say? 234?
238.
238.
Yeah, and that's at the United Center in Chicago.
Yeah. Waiting for another UFC to come to Scotiabank Arena. But since they're not, I'll just sit satisfied with the fact that SummerSlam week we got SmackDown Live tickets.
Boom! And yeah, I am. I mean, if we thought tickets to WWE stuff was crazy when we looked at those, don't even look at tickets for UFC because the UFC tickets are even more insane.
Oh my gosh, don't even tell me that. I'll get the wife and to look them up right now, and she'll probably tell me that too.
Yeah, they're expensive. They charge you a lot for those fights.
Madness, man, madness. But then again, they want the elite out. They don't want us regular people. Well, there's nothing regular about us people. But they don't want, you know what I mean? They want the elite. So I guess we're going to have to step up our game a little bit, man. That's what's up. Next year, we'll plan. I'm telling you, like, WWE
we got to get in Uncle Dana's radar.
Exactly. The way I see it is, like, I swear we're on the WWE's radar, though. I swear.
It seems like it sometimes. They're just doing this Roman Reigns stuff to piss me off more. They heard me complain, and they're like, fuck him. Did I lose you again?
No. I just got a message from a chat group that I'm in about a track that I'm collaborating on. I'm trying to make sense of it.
Oh, word. Yeah. I mean, that's all the stuff I got for UFC, New Japan, AEW, and all that stuff. Anything else you wanted to talk about on the wrestling stuff there, Blake?
The next WWE pay-per-view is
Super Showdown. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. June 9th.
And then after that, it's Stomping Ground later in June.
After that, it's what?
Stomping Ground, which is I think June 23rd.
Stomping Ground.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've done a Stomping Ground pay-per-view.
Yeah, that should be an interesting night.
Yep. we'll see how that fades out. But we don't even have anything on that yet. So once we find out, we'll see where they're going.
Yeah, man. I think we touched base on pretty much everything.
Dope.
All right. So
I'm gonna take a nap and then watch AEW.
All right. I'm gonna catch some rest, and then I'm gonna be out on the night. I got the basketball game I'm watching the basketball game at Stotts, and then I'm headed over to St. Catharines to go to the warehouse for an event.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see how that goes, and yeah.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, man. Blessed times. All right, you've been listening to Tough Talks with Thili and the Block.
Yeah, please.
Bless up. We out.
All day.